Dua, comedic for thank you. Um, I just wanted to kind of give you guys a brief introduction of me as like an intuitive reader. I use the divination of tarot on this channel. This channel is meant to be a healing space. Initially, the reason why I created this channel is for those to have a space here for anything that is really resonating for a seeker. Um, I've been studying and going through these different processes um, of learning about different divination tactics in medium spaces. Such as pendulum, working with the dream spirit, tarot, looking at the stars and seeing like what type of trajectory your life can actually go in. But for the most part, my specialized um, kind of like what called me is tarot. Um, I did like really this initiation essentially. Spirit called me into this. I didn't seek it. It actually sought me um 3 years ago. When I used these different divination tactics to kind of go through my own healing through some heartbreak that I did encounter. And what really happened was a transformation that occurred, um, that it allowed me to see some things that I had no idea about myself that held me back to be this potentially magnificent entity using my highest and greatest good for all of those involved. So I'm like, wow, like I went through a deep healing process, a deep healing period in my life where it was very authentic, it was very genuine, but at the same time, it was very arduous because I'm seeing things for the very first time that I haven't seen ever. I was fortunate enough to follow some really great masters that really put me on this road. A little bit of a background from me. I came from a Christian home. I always knew I had this spirit about me, but I wasn't able to kind of entertain it just because of some constraints of my upbringing. And yet again, when you're called to do something, when you are called to be somebody, this is something that just can't be ignored. And I just kept getting this vibration from spirit to be this healer. And I had to go through a deep initiation in order for me to even present this information to you. Um, so I'm like super, super excited. I was super immature, or not even immature, but really insecure about even creating this channel because I constantly had this thing in my mind of, oh my God, am I good enough? It's a big responsibility to be a healer. It's a big responsibility to be intuitive. You want to make sure all of those messages are displayed for a seeker so that they're able to take this information, ascertain it, and utilize it in their own space, in their own body, in their own spirit. So that's a huge, huge responsibility for me. And I was in that kind of up in my mind, like, oh my God, am I ready? I have studied tarot with different decks and I felt the energies of them. I did feel like I was ready, but I still was holding myself back. I had so many of my personal friends and family members and saying like, listen, you helped me understand things that or understand things that I really had no idea about. Yeah, you're ready. So yet again, I get a lot of messages in my dream world. I had a dream about starting YouTube and literally woke up the next day. And under Pisces moon last month, I started it. Um, and I'm doing this video under a Pisces moon as a transit now because I felt compelled to even show you my face, to show you who I am, to say to you, YouTube, that this space that I'm utilizing on this community, on this platform, is for healing. So, with that being said, some of these messages um, are just, giving a little bit of a background of where I kind of come from in these messages. Space is like I use purification with mind, body, and spirit. I know, like in ancient Kemetic times, before you come before the Netaru, you had to purify yourself. And that's kind of like how I am. Um, I really want to come in these messages with purifications, with having an ostrich feather, close by me so that I could keep a light heart while providing these messages from spirit, so that I can also purify my mind, so that these messages can come out in a way that's very purifying for the seeker. So, with that being said, it's very imperative for me to let you know that I used to call this YouTube channel "Too Real for You," and the reason why I used to call it "Too Real for You" is because some of these messages aren't fluffy. Some of them aren't this big love and light. All positive messages. Some of them are going to come out as deep transformation tactics and informational um, point of views, so that you can go into your journey with this sense of with this sense of information, with this sense of knowledge, wherewithal, this sense of understanding some things that we don't know because of our own constraints in the world, whether it's being manipulated by our partner or family members or friends, being in constraint, being a constraint to ourselves through closed mindedness, not having that ability to see outside of our own paradigms, constraints within our religious practices, not allowing ourselves to see some healing tactics outside of certain religious practices. Keep in mind, RE is really, and if you're looking at it in terms of etymology, you're looking at something that's going backward, something that is going to constrain you. That's essentially what RE means anyway. So I personally had to look at things on a worldwide view in terms of what my own spiritual practices consist of. This channel is meant to intend to heal. Some of these messages are very straightforward. Some of the messages that I do for people, and so far of starting this channel, they're very heavy energies. You got to keep in mind, astrologically, if you do follow some of the astrology that goes on right now, it's a very arduous time because there's a lot of transformations happening. There's a lot of things are being karmically ended without your control. There's things that you're starting to see about yourself that you no longer can bring on your path moving forward. So at this particular time, there's a lot of people needing needing this clarity, needing some services, um, in the sense of how can I understand this, because it's a lot, for others it's just kind of like, I really want to change my life. I'm not content with life. I'm always finding myself feeling upset or sad or angry about, disappointments from humans, or disappointments from situations, or job related, or intellectually feeling stifled. I mean, the list goes on. And a lot of times we don't realize some of the energy that we encompass actually bring some of these results. So it's very interesting that some of these messages come out super plainly, that I have no choice as a healer but to present you some of these messages, because so far I've seen, I guess, some people that left comments, and they really just was like, wow, that you're really a straight shooter. And yes, I am a straight shooter. I know that I work with light and dark energy. I work with dark magic. I work with light body magic. They're both dualities. Being too dark is just sitting in chaos and not being able to go into the light and pulling that energy of lightness in our bodies to create balance. Too much light, too much sun will blind you of the actual thing that we need to go into our dark state, into that actual matter of things, the root of a situation, and clarify some things that are very meaningful and just is transformative for our bodies and our spirit bodies, our physical bodies, our emotional bodies, our mental bodies. So I'm not this, hi, I'm loving lighting. I am not that person. I'm not this gothic person either that just stays in this dark arena as well. I'm duality. I have to be in this balanced state so that I can bring you these messages, including myself, but to others so that is well versed. It's a holistic way of viewing our entities, our space cadet suits within the physical realm, but more or less our souls, what our souls are saying. Our souls are highly important, that we as people kind of put to the side for the physical manifestations or for the physical aspects of life, whether it's financial or being comfortable in a situation that you're really not comfortable in, or a job that you really hate, or dealing still with family members and friends that you kind of don't even feel comfortable around, and you feel like you can't be your full self around. So these are the things, these messages are for y'all. These messages that I intend to distribute is for you guys so that you can see, wow, there is a way out. Through our solar plexus chakra, our sacral chakra, our heart chakra, our pineal, the throat chakra, our cosmic consciousness, our root chakra, all of these different um, energies I work with so that you're able to be a balanced being. And I'm just so happy that you guys chose me to be in your healing community. I'm super excited because wow, like to have this ability to help somebody on their path and their journey is not only a big responsibility, but it's a true honor to me. It's so much more than to me than you can even imagine. Um, so I'm just super excited to bring you these messages. I hope that you guys really take a lot from them. Leave comments. I love interacting with the community. And some comments even help me resonate to being a more better healer. So it's just nothing but love and positivity over here. But I do work with energies that will help you get out of some really craziness that, sometimes we tend to ignore. But when we're living in a world like today, it's very imperative to be as open and honest and authentic, um, so that you can be able to transcend, because there's definitely an element of transformation within all of us right now. And there's no escaping it. There's no escaping it. So, with that being said, I use traditional African origins as the esoteric symbols as opposed to westernized symbols. I still keep the traditional tarot concept intact. So that's pretty much how I work as an intuitive here, because I always want to keep it very indigenous in terms of mythology is concerned. Okay, so guys, with that being said, thank you so much for um, coming here. You know what I mean? Thank you so much for just choosing me to even give you some of these messages. They mean the utmost importance to me. And I hope it brings clarity, peace, happiness, love, kindness, everything that you deserve because you are a divine being at the end of the day. Okay? You are truly divine and you're unique and you are loved and you are magical and you are powerful. So with that being said, love to you guys and check my videos out. All right. Peace to you. Mwah. Bye.